guys, I'm back again with another video, and this is a second video in the series of factor evaluations. The previous video we talked about the internal factors and their evaluation, and in this video we'll be talking about the external factors evaluation. And this is a video in the series that we're doing on strategic planning and strategic management. So let's get started. Now we had talked about organizations having certain characteristics which are the strengths of an organization, and then there were certain characteristics which were actually weaknesses, a negative aspect, and this could be applied for a company, organization, or even for a person. Okay, and then there were factors that presented themselves as opportunities, and the opposite of that was factors that presented themselves as threats. Now, we use these four factors: the strength, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, to do what we call the SWOT analysis. And the internal factors that we looked at were the strength and the weaknesses, because the strength is within a person and weakness is within a person. Opportunities are something that's external to an organization. So in this video we'll be looking at the opportunities and the threats. And when we talk about evaluating opportunities and threats, we actually do external factors evaluation. All right, so let's get started. This is the sample SWOT that we had done for a company that was in the software business and is now thinking of making and selling computer hardware. And we had done the strength and weaknesses. We discussed the strength and the weaknesses in the internal factor evaluation video, and in this video we will be looking at the opportunities and the threats. Okay, now here's what we have done. We have listed the external factor evaluation in a table similar to the one that we had done for the internal evaluation. All right, and what we'll be doing is we will be assigning weights to each opportunity and threat, and weights would be assigned, would range from from 0 to 1, and adding up all the weights, they should add up to 1. So you can see that each item, each line item would be given a weight which would be technically less than 1, because we have 5 items here, 3 opportunities and 2 threats. Then we have the ratings. Now the ratings are assigned from 1 to 4. Since we are talking about the external factors, the opportunities and the threats, and what an organization or the individual does is, when he or she or an organization is exposed to external factors, they respond. Okay, so in this evaluation, what we're looking at is the response. Okay, now 1 would be the response is poor, 2 would be response is average, 3 would be response is above average, and 4 would be the response is superior. And then you would basically, what you do is take the weights and the rating, multiply them, and then you put them in the weighted score column, and at the bottom what you do is you add up all the weighted scores. So let's start with that. So now what we're going to do is we'll first start assigning weights to each of the opportunities and threats, and like I said before, they should add up to 1. And now the weights and ratings that we're going to be assigning, these are basically what you feel, what your gut feeling is, what you through experience have learned working for for the company that you are in, for the industry in which you are in. Okay, so the new generation of customers appreciate high-end PCs. We'll give it a weight of 0.2. We said that local government was undergoing modernization, and so would be looking at buying new hardware. We'll give that a 0.1. And government announced a grant to help students buy PCs, and we'll give that a 0.2. Those we have assigned weights to the opportunities. Now what we'll be looking at is assigning weights to the threats. Okay. Now the first threat is that we might face strong competition from existing players. We give it a 0.3, and when a customers when a competition advertises low prices, they may think they're not getting good value from us because our hardware would be more state of the art, so would be priced higher than the average competition. So we'll give that a 2, and they add up to a 1. Excuse me. Now what we'll do is we'll give it a rating. Like I said before, 1 is a poor response, 2 is an average response, 3 is an above average response, 4 is a superior response. So new generation of customers appreciate high-end PC hardware. The response that we say is a 3. So 3 multiplied by 0.2 is a 0.6. Local government undergoing modernization, we say that's a 0.3, so we give that a 3, and so that's 0.1 to 3 is 0.3. The government announced grant to help students buy PCs, we'll give it a 4, so 0.8. Strong competition, we'll give it a 1, that'll be 0.3. And low prices, a 2, so we'll give it a 4. A 2, so a 0.4. So now the weighted score adds up to 2.4. So that's what your weighted score is for the external factor evaluation. So we've done internal factor evaluation, we have done external factor evaluation. Now, mind you, these are all coming back from the SWOT analysis that we had done earlier. Okay, so I'm going to end here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more videos like this, then please subscribe.